Either the elites really love pizza and jerky, or they're actually eating humans.
¡Comieron humanos! ¡Asquerosidad! ¡Comieron humanos! Yo no estaba enterada de nada. Que había, o sea, los asesinatos sí, pero que habían comido humanos. ¡Humanos!
Man. I mean,
Why are we ignoring this? I don't know. If I'm the only one, it feels like I'm the only one. Like you're the only one, maybe 2 million other people that have actually got into these Epstein files and showing these people for who they are.
it's all out. It's all there. Are you guys looking at the emails? Are you guys keeping up with what's going on? Or are you in denial? Are you just not accepting it? Which could be understandable.
And when I say eat humans, I kind of mean cannibal.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if that doesn't outrage you, if that doesn't get you at least to open your ears and to be aware of what's going on, then what will?
The Roman Feathers Podcast.
I get it, it's heavy.
It's very
It's
heavy,
heavy
yeah.
stuff, and you just want to work your 9 to 5. You want to, go home and eat your cereal and watch TV and hope everything around you is okay, but I want to get back to where we can have fun, actually watch movies, enjoy comedy, have a podcast where we're actually just talking about stories of my past and in my tattoo career, things that you've done, that made you the person you are today, and same with you guys. But if we don't address this now, that we're never gonna have that ever again. Okay, we've been talking about jerky a lot. Let's run some jerky emails so that we can bring up to speed where we are.
Hope you are feeling better. Did we analyze the jerky? Why didn't we get jerky this week? I also added more to the jerky and ginger lemongrass. Thank you so much. Super cool. Beef jerky, delicious. Jojo is here and we'll walk the jerky over to Jeffrey. We'll walk the jerky over to Jeffrey. Why would it do that? Delicious lunch, beef jerky. Steve and I are very grateful above all for your friendship. Small insulated bag would be fine. I don't recommend checking it. No need for crazy amounts of ice. One should do. There is one bag of beef jerky in the fridge. Please get it. Also, Blank has more at her place. Please get it from her as well. I suppose it needs to be in a cold insulated bag. Just wanted to touch base about jerky. J.E. said he was going to start eating regular food again, so he might be eating less jerky. He said he has 6 bags of it in a downstairs freezer. Why would you freeze jerky? Steve needs a 6 to 8 ounce portion of jerky. I gave you all the jerky we had, and it lasted only half the amount of time it was meant to. I felt like it was more important for you to have the jerky to eat during my time off. My plan is to make a batch before I leave for LSJ, and some of that will go to Steve, and the rest will go to you at LSJ when I arrive. Little St. James Island. That's what LSJ must mean. So logically, that means that they were doing this off of the island. Steve Hansen is sending jerky to your attention overnight. I believe it should be enough to get him through. Jeffrey Epstein is asking to bring him more jerky. I'm flying in on Friday. I will bring jerky. Is there a time I could come say hi and drop off the beef jerky? And that's from Jeffrey Epstein. Francis has time to come tomorrow. Show me how to make it. Jerky class anyone. He will bring you to taste his new jerky recipe from the restaurant. He sends a warm hello. He's working at a restaurant called guys, the restaurant's called Cannibal and Cooks. Wait for it, beef jerky and steak. Can Blank make some jerky? I think we should landscape all around the house to use the water if possible, if the main house is not enough.
So,
Okay, we're gonna walk the beef jerky over, keeping the beef jerky in the fridge, in the freezer.
like, yeah.
A real beef jerky is meant to be dry aged.
it's like, yeah, it's all in elements.
Right.
Always. But I mean, no, it is talked about in very unfamiliar phrases.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what makes it questionable. Because it's not only that, though, right? They talk about other types of food and other, like,
Pizza.
stuff on the menu, yeah.
Cheese pizza,
Mhm.
pizza, hot dogs.
Yeah.
There was an email with Obama talking about, I'm going to send a airplane full of $20,000 worth of pizza and hot dogs.
Yeah, no,
or
I think
$200,000
it was
worth.
it was a crazy number. I think it was like 80 grand or something. But it's still like, which, I mean, okay, you figured, like, these people do spend a lot of money on stuff, but damn, it's just weird. Like the context is weird, and
It doesn't make sense.
it doesn't make sense. No.
And we already, if you're just paying a little attention, we already know there's a huge trafficking issue,
Right.
especially with children. We already know childhood actors who start off in Hollywood or Disney, there's something happens to them.
If they survive.
If they survive, they're never the same.
Yeah. And it's always the same thing, you know, something psychological, something that they make themselves look different or
With the last episode, we went over the rituals, and we have these actors and actresses and singers and rappers who all kind of whisper the same whisper or hang around the same people who are into this spirit cooking or who are into this trans
satanic
lifestyle
worship or satanic imagery.
into blood, into cross-dressing.
Anti-Christianity stuff, like they like mock it, they
Oh, the
ridicule it, you know, upside down crosses, like stuff like that. Like it's symbolic. and
Portals,
intentions.
demons,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Travis Scott,
Right.
Taylor Swift, her concerts were they look like they're doing like witch seances.
It got really dark because she wasn't like that. She didn't start off like that. As of lately, it's gotten very dark.
And to me, you don't have to be a Christian or a religious person to be able to recognize that this is just something that's not right. And that doesn't mean, I mean, I think you should turn to God. I think you should turn to Jesus and find some higher power in this moment. But what we're witnessing right now and the amount of outrage, it doesn't equal itself to me.
Right.
You think listen up! What's my name? What's my name? My other name. What do you call me? I am your father. From now on, you will call me your father. Shut up! You will call me your father.
All right, that's enough. I can't watch anymore.
And this is an older video. This is, I think, one of the first, when it first started to kind of surface, right?
This is through the WikiLeaks, through Julian Assange. This is the Pizzagate conspiracy that many prominent celebrities called fantasy, QAnon conspiracies.
Apparently, some alt-right folks were combing through Clinton campaign emails hacked by Russia and published by WikiLeaks and noticed there seems to be more references to pizza and pizzerias than they had expected, which can only mean one thing: secret sex ring.
But these are the email leaks that nobody wants to look through, that nobody wants to address, and that the mainstream media either wants to not cover or call kooky.
And again, this is Podesta. We've talked about this guy before, and he was involved with the Clintons. The fact of the matter is that this stuff is happening, and it is by the people who run the world, who call the shots, who make our laws, who tell us what and what we can't do. So let that sink in for a little bit, man, because it's like, it's reality, and it's a reality that we never wanted to live in, but it's here.
It kind of brings me back to the whole Super Bowl thing with Bad Bunny, because at first, at face level, I thought the concert was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't make sense for it to be a Super Bowl concert, but at the same time, who gives a shit?
It was entertaining.
It was for entertainment.
Yeah.
But as time has gone, as I've been able to analyze the video more, the internet's been able to analyze it more. You recognize some of the songs he was actually playing during the video, which one of his biggest hits and almost breakout into the United States was the one where he's cross-dressing as.
Yeah.
And it's not just cross-dressing. Dude's like got full-on prosthetic boobs.
Yeah.
You know, he's attracting the men as a woman.
And his movements are sensual. And
he even in one of these little conspiracy theory videos, he has a tattoo on his stomach. Did you see that video?
I did.
Where it's like a male, female deity.
Let's see if we can look that up. It's got a name. It's got a name.
what people consider conspiracy videos. Now we're fact checking a lot of it on there right now, but again, like these people do the research too, and when you go start to find that everything they pulled up is actually legitimate,
Right.
it stops being a conspiracy, right? Or at least it's something deeper than just this alleged idea about someone.
True, but I think when it's done intentionally, then what do you take from that, right? Because either they're just trying to like provoke rage, right, or like what do you call that, like rage bait,
Yeah.
or they're honoring something.
Well, yeah, and I think both can be. I think both happen. As an artist, you always try to push the envelope. You know, you try to be a little bit more daring and, you know, racy and edgy.
But at what cost? You know?
Right. Because I think about, like, one of our first episodes, we talked about, like, would you dress in in drag for a joke?
Yeah.
For a comedy skit to hit. And, you know, I think in context, I still think it would be funny. But I can see how it can be taken. But if that's like the one-off joke that I did about it, I think that's one thing. But if I'm constantly promoting it, like in the Super Bowl video or the Bad Bunny Super Bowl performance, the one scene where it cuts from inside the truck and you see these two guys just grinding on each other like they're just passionately.
Yeah, and it was intentional, like 100%. That was like, you're gonna see this, you're meant to see this, it's gonna happen, and it's like, what do we take from that? Like, what are people saying about that? You know, like.
And again, if that was a one-off thing to land a joke, that's one thing, but if it's a pattern.
Yeah.
Do you record while the bus is moving, or does it have to come to a stop?
Yeah, well, sometimes they don't want to, and they're, you know, Gaga, we can't get, you know, the frequency's weird, and, you know, it's sounding a little bit strange, and I'm like, if you don't get this right now, I swear to Lucifer, I'm gonna.
There's a quick ounce of evidence. Again, if I'm saying, I pray to God that everything's gonna be okay, you know what my intentions are. If she's saying, I swear to Lucifer, and in the way she's saying, like,
No, but then you say that, and some people get offended by it.
I just don't understand, not necessarily why we aren't waking up to it, but why we're ignoring it.
That's the question.
I bring things up because, you know, we're here ruffling feathers, not to just piss people off, not to just say things to be racy and edgy. And even though as a mission statement, the goal isn't to really piss people off. It's to thought provoke. It's to get you to step outside of your tunnel of vision and your group thought and identity, and to realize we really have to think together on this. We can't get into the my team, that team, because that's really what these elites prefer. Yeah. They prefer to email themselves whatever the fuck they're doing, and then keep provoking us and tapping his shoulder and saying it was that guy, and then tapping that shoulder saying it was that guy over there, while they continue going to their islands and parties and getting each other elected and putting each other in higher positions of power so that their elite group can just go on as usual.
So I think if we can paint a picture, like, imagine these people are who they are showing to be. We are giving them the satisfaction by dividing, by causing division, by picking sides, by listening to the music, by buying the products, you know, because it's like at the end of the day, materialistic stuff, it's that. It's just that. It has a limit. It has a dead, you know, a day, expiration date. So humanity, unity doesn't, you know, and that's forever. And that's what resonates, that love, that positivity, that light. And I think they know that. I know that. I don't think. We know they know that. So that's why the more chaos they create between us, the more distracted we are. Because it's like, you don't want to keep, you wouldn't, if you've seen your favorite singer, your favorite actor eating a child, are you going to still go to the concert? Are you still going to buy their clothes, their lipsticks?
The reason we know that they prefer us fighting each other, dumbed down and small, useless energy, is because they control what we watch. They control what we're entertained by, sports, movies, music. They control our politicians. They control what goes into our food. They control what goes into our medications. They control that we don't do holistic healing. They control that we prefer pharmaceuticals. They control everything that we do. And when I come out and say that, I'm the conspiracy theorist, when in reality, my cap is off. I've unplugged. You know, I'm shaved head in the Matrix with, you know, eating
We're
the
in
oatmeal.
Never asked this. What's it called? The ship? What do they call it?
Oh,
Nasser,
the Nebuchadnezzar. Yeah. We're there.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily think that you need to be there with me. We just need to bring awareness to the situation that we cannot continue to fight each other when your favorite politician does something or your most hated politician does something. Because in reality, they all play for the same team. And if they're going against the grain, there's usually some truth to what they're doing, or you still have to be like, what's your play here?
But I mean, how is it not obvious that we see that? Because we witness that all the time. It's the live, what do you call it, limelight? You know, everything that's in the mainstream media is what serves their agenda and what serves their narrative. How can we be that naive and ignore that? That it's like, it's been wide open, you know, the darkness, the door to darkness, the door to the devil is open and it's loose. You know, the demons are loose among us because we have been desensitized to violence. We see violent videos on social media, you know, which is another thing. Social media is another one of their tools. And I guess it's inevitable, but learn to control your time on it. Learn to control your algorithm if you can, you know, or learn to have a stop time, you know, learn to I guess like you always told me, you know, like learn to serve the matrix, but not obey the matrix, right? Or not be a slave for the matrix, because the thing is inevitable. We can't beat it, but we can understand it and we can let it not affect us as individuals and as our small groups, but then that will start to ripple into our communities, into our nation, into our world.
And you make a great point, is because we're not perfect. You doom scroll all the time, and you're like, dude, what am I gonna do? And like, we have to breathe, and also we're not going to be able to do it overnight. Like, I stopped going to Jack in the Box. I stopped going to all these fast food places that I know are killing us. I stopped taking Tylenol. I started letting my body, when I get a fever, go through the fever, get the immune system to recognize, hey, I have a job to do. This is my processes when bacteria or a virus comes in. You know, I create these antibodies. You know, there's holistic healing here for us. That's not going to make it go away overnight, but it will help us in the longer run. Like, everything doesn't have to be instant gratification. And again, this goes to the movies. Like, you may really love this actor, but you still want to see their movie. Go watch the movie, but try to like start to detract yourself slowly as, oh man, DiCaprio is like the fucking greatest, when in reality he might be fucking sucking blood out of kids, you know, and I'm being exaggerated because they probably just kill him and drink it out of cup.
If they're not doing it, they're not in the limelight. Like, they're not in the spotlight, right? Like you have to be able to, how can I describe this? Like, you have to be able to say yes to what their demands are in order to continue to be that popular, to be on the top.
And it could be either you're a participant in it, so you have to do it to get to this club level. It could be, hey, we like you, you know what we do, just shut up. That could be a scenario. Or they could even be a victim themselves, where it happened to them as a child star or as a 20-year-old star coming up.
But also, we have the people that we've mentioned before that were big rock stars, that were big vocalists to big bands that had great success, and then they started to speak out on it and they unalived themselves.
Or the supermodel in our intro who went missing. You know, after she brought up these things. I mean, if you have this much money and power, if you have billions at your fingertips, if you have every industry at your fingertips, how easy would it be to get rid of someone or erase them from the internet?
Yeah. And you know, sometimes like the innocence that these people come into the light, like say Sam Smith, he came in totally normal, And look at him today, you know. So either he gets the pleasure out of it, he enjoys it, and he wants that. I mean, to each his own. But pay attention to this. Like, be aware that this is happening, and like, man, like, it's a drastic change. How can you not notice it? And how can you not think there's something off about it?
Even if you think this is all like stemming from Trump and all these Epstein files, you're only focused on Trump being on them. I feel well aware in my brain that he's culpable or he's responsible or he's a part of as many things as they're saying about Jeffrey Epstein. I'm aware of that possibility. I have yet to see that evidence in emails, but if I do see the email, then I'm against him just as much as I'm against John Podesta. But we have to quit thinking Republican, Democrat, whatever, like straight, gay, all that shit is it doesn't matter because we all bleed red. If you need someone's kidney, you don't have to check off a race for that kidney.
Right.
You have to match blood types and whatever other criteria. Like, we need to quit getting into this environment of whose group needs to be supreme, whose group is right, whose group is wrong, because all we get through our comments when we do these videos is, oh, you're a Trumper, or oh, you're a MAGA, or oh, you're a Republican. And it's just like, bro, you're obviously not watching.
And it's surface level ignorance. Because you're ignorant if that's what you think. Because, you know, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Like, before I'm Mexican or anything else, I'm a human. And I think that if we can remove that, right, because it is asking a lot to ask somebody to put their culture to the side or put their beliefs to the side or put their gender to the side. But if you can do that, you will realize that you're a human first. And then what matters? What matters as a human? Humanity. All of us as one. Now, we can exist and coexist in a beautiful manner, but there's a higher power that wants us to be divided and agitated and stressful and anxious and distracted, which is one of the most important tools, because you said earlier, instant gratification. That is a very dangerous, that is a tool that is a weapon from the devil. I really do believe so, because to suffer indignity is power, is divine. And I think that we have lost that, you know, because sometimes like self-denial is that sugar, is that food, is that it's easy to eat McDonald's, but it's it's going to cost you a little more to cook your meal. You're going to cook your vegetables, your rice, but it's more
nourishment.
You know, so it's like things like that. Like, we're losing that humanity in us because everything's fast-paced. Everything's like, okay, I feel like crap, so I'm going to go drink. I feel like shit, so I'm going to go smoke a cigarette. I want to watch a show and forget my life and my troubles. That's dangerous, you know? Yeah. And I think we lose ourselves as humans because then everything that's in the shows, everything that's in the social media is more division. It's more, hey, look, your culture is the best culture, and you should, you know.
I want to piggyback on what you're saying about we start as humans first, because I understand the argument is that, you know, there should be no borders. We're all, you know, people of the earth, and I believe in that, but you can't just reverse uno on a society that's built off of sovereignty of nations. And that's what the leftists, when I agree with you that we should be able to have an open society where I could travel anywhere in the world and be safe and not have to show ID and do all this and that, and there should be no murders and there should be no mass bombings and suicide bombers and all that stuff. But we don't live in that world yet. It takes many years of evolution to get to a world like that. And y'all want to get into that world like that without getting rid of the pedophiles, the murderers, the blackmailers, you know, the traffickers, the drug dealers. Y'all think that that's going to magically turn on because you feel like the world belongs to the indigenous people, or we shouldn't have borders, and or laws only pertain to the people of that country. If you're an illegal, the laws don't pertain to you. You're the conspiracy theorist at this point, and I want you to understand that, because when we get into these arguments, y'all stop to realize you cannot do that because you've probably lived a life of privilege. You've probably lived a life where you've never had harm come to your front door. You've probably lived a life where poverty wasn't an issue for you, and that is your privilege that you should be thankful for that you've had, but 90% of the world has never seen that. That's why 90% of the world wants to come to America. But that's also why we need to protect ourselves from 90% of the world, because there are bad actors in that 90%. And we don't know who's who. If we're showing all these actors and politicians doing this ugly, horrific stuff, but in the public light, they're saying the right things. They're funny. They're cool people. But behind closed doors, this is what they're up to. Like, come on, think logically. You can't just let people inside. You don't know who a monster is until they show you who they are. Some are easy to fucking, right? Like, to see and...
Yeah, also, some of them can't hide it. But I think that's where the predators and the prey come in. Because it's like, it's not your fault that you were privileged, or maybe, your parents wanted to protect you, unintentionally harming you in a way where you missed a lot of that in the world. Because this world that we live in, it is cutthroat. It really is. And some countries are... Every day it's a survival. Every day it's like, man, I just saw a dude get his throat get cut, or somebody killed, blah blah blah. I mean, it's like an everyday normal thing. So
or there's a dead body on the street. You're walking by.
Everywhere. It's in a lot of most countries are like that. I remember when I was leaving Mexico, it was like we had to get up early in the morning, and it was like the last day. I remember it was like I was a kid. I was like 7 or 8 years old, and we were pulling away. And the car swerved around a body on the middle of the road. I don't know if he was dead. I don't know if he was drunk, but I remember I was like, damn, like that image stuck in my head, But it was like, that was the neighborhood that I lived in too. Like we would see that all the time, like we were like in the slumps in Mexico City. But like the people that want to come here are either trying to escape that and live a better life. And this is very real. And I think that's why these laws play a part in our civilization, because that's how we were able to live not in the Wild West, where it's like, kill dog eat dog,
We want to bring this home in terms of life is tough out there. In America, we live a actually privileged life. For the worst of what we see to be people meddling with federal agents getting killed because they put themselves into a situation that they didn't need to put themselves in, is totally different from you driving through your town in Mexico and you look up at the freeway and there's 3 people hanging because cartel violence, or a family that gets killed and shot up by cartel because they were in the wrong area, or you happen to be walking through the streets of Baghdad and a car bomber comes and destroys the whole block.
Yeah.
Or
India, somebody raping a young teenage girl, or getting a group, that
like, everybody knows about.
Yeah.
Or like these are the true struggles of humanity. And if you are over here on your iPhones drinking your Starbucks coffee, at school, at your $200,000 school,
your Stanley Cup,
yeah, your night, you got the shirt that donates another shirt when you buy one shirt. Oh, you're such a great human, and please tell me more, because I just can't. I suck at life compared to you. That's the vibe you give off, and we're trying to just be more real, raw, and ruffle your feathers and say, good for you. You have the right mentality, but you don't have the right reality. And that's what we want to get to here is life is hard. Life is tough. My life hasn't been great in terms of what things that I've had to experience. And I don't know what's been in your life to experience. So we need to quit just pointing the finger at each other and saying, I'm right, you're wrong. And we need to just start pointing the finger at the people up and say, what are y'all doing?
These freedoms can and most likely will be taken away. And nobody's going to be happy then. Nobody. There's not going to be no middle class, no lower class, no upper class. It's going to be the elites and then the obedient little sheeps. And then anybody
and the dead.
And everybody that rebels against that will join the dead, or will have to leave on the ground eating rats, fucking whatever scraps are left. And this is a reality that can happen. We've seen it in the movies. We know it sounds like a movie, but it's like, pay attention to what's happening. Like, we're clearly not standing up against these people who are doing whatever they want in this world. And if you don't contribute or participate in their, whatever you want to call it, then you're not one of them, and then you belong with the rest of us in the filth that they consider us. So again, think about our future. Think about where this could lead us in that loss of freedom, in that constant surveillance, in that constant. You gotta watch what you say. You're gonna be told what to eat, when to eat, how to dress, and you're gonna be just like an institution.
And we're already there. Most of y'all just haven't realized it.
A lot of the reasons that I got into this is because I do love, people, and I do love God, and I know God loves me and loves us, and I think that we are beautiful beings. We are beautiful creatures, capable of so much, and it hurts me to see that we do, whether it's unintentional or we've been dumbed down to the fact that we are being programmed, we are being manipulated into behaving a certain way, in a certain manner, and I think that's taking away those. We're giving them the satisfaction by taking away those freedoms of ourselves, by letting them know, hey, y'all can get away with whatever y'all want. Just tell us what to do. We'll obey. So what I just want to finish with is, remember who you are. Listen to those others, especially those that you disagree with. Like, it's worth to have a conversation and just hear them out rather than waiting to respond. Like, see what they're really saying, as opposed to just being bothered by what they're saying.
I think for me, I consider myself a protector. I want to get back to be honest, the podcast was an idea that stemmed because of reality. I wanted to do a show more on being a tattoo artist, on my art style, creating cool tattoos, how I design, and the great conversations that I have with all my clients, and then the beautiful artwork that it ends with. But I realized that with interaction with some certain clients or certain people, that the tensions would just change off of a comment or a mention, and I don't like that shit. Like, we should be able to just talk freely as free people, and if we're ever to return to a place where I can do fun tattoos, we can talk about my crazy tattoo stories with people that have come into the shop or tattoos that I've had to do. I want to be there, but we can't get there if we keep ignoring the pedophiles, if we keep ignoring the blackmail, if we keep ignoring the satanic rituals, the blood drinking, the trafficking of children, the drugs, and all these things that have made our society and made us like hate each other. I can't protect my children or the people that I love if I ignore that. And so my message to you is, don't ignore what we're trying to say because it triggers you. Be aware of what we're telling you and do some research, and maybe you can meet us halfway with some other information that we can also put into the brain thought and get ourselves out of choosing these politicians, watching these movies, and put our money where our mouths are. Put our money back into ourselves, into our family, our communities. The actual guy that has a taco truck that or the actual guy who's starting his own business, or the gal that is she just became a lawyer. Like, we have to keep our money within ourselves and the people we know that we can trust. That way we can stop funding the machine, and from there we can get to that utopia. But it has to start somewhere, and that's what we're trying to do here at Ruffled Feathers. I love everyone, and I hope y'all get this message the way it was meant to be.
Honey,